Welcome to Manifesting a Life. Back in 2015, my husband and I bought this major fixer-upper of a house. I mean, this was major. We did not really have any running water per se. We could get hot water out of the bathtub. I don't know why we had the hot water out of the bathtub, but we did. Everything else was pretty much non-existent. We were catching rainwater to flush the toilets with. We'd buy 5-gallon containers of water from the grocery store to use at the kitchen sink to wash hands, to wash dishes, and to drink. And so our 25th wedding anniversary happened during this time of no water. And we went to a bed and breakfast to celebrate. And I was just so excited. We had a shower. That was how bad it was. Well, my husband spent 2 weeks in the crawl space under the house, replacing all the plumbing and keeping the spiders company for us to have running water in the house. So we ended up replacing all the plumbing in the house, replacing the drain pipes all the way out to the street. Just everything was new. So we had all that new. We replaced all the electrical in the house. So we didn't want the house burned down like our neighbor's house down the road had burned. And we were starting to work on each room one at a time as we got to it. I'd bought kitchen cabinets early on, and they were flat packed in the living room, stacked up for about 1.5 years before we actually got around to working in the kitchen. Well, we had just decided to start working on the front porch. We had been supporting the front porch with 6x6 post and another post around the top, and supporting the little doghouse dormer that covered the porch. But we were going to also break up all the concrete down there and just totally redo the porch because it was falling apart as it was. Now, this house was a cinder block house, and it had a brick veneer on the outside of the cinder block. And this brick veneer was pulling away from the house, so we were also taking all this brick off and just leaving the cinder block. And we were ending up putting 3 inches of insulation on the exterior of the house on top of the cinder block, and then we're gonna put vinyl siding on. Well, that was pretty much standard in the neighborhood. Keep it in line with the other houses. Well, in the process of pulling off some of this brick, we ended up exposing some opened areas that we just covered up with plywood and sealed it up with some foam, insulation, well, some like grate stuff type thing, and just left it there. We had about 2 places like that. And then, guess what? I get a phone call from my insurance company saying, "Oh, guess what? You have won the lottery." It's like, huh? Well, apparently what happens is that every year, this insurance company will draw certain addresses out of the hat to go by doing photographing to see if the exterior of the house matches up with what the agent is insuring it for. Just keep an eye on their agent, it's supposed to be. And I said, "Oh, no, you got to get us out of this. We're in the middle of rehabbing this stuff. We got the porch all torn up. There's no front porch right now. It's all rubble." And he said, "I've tried to get people out of this before. They won't budge. I can't do it. No can do." So, okay. Well, it took him about a month to get over to our house and start taking pictures. And by then, we did have the front porch finished. However, there were a lot of other areas, because it's a rehab. It's a major renovation. And so they took pictures, and we talked to the person, and she said, "Well, I'll come back in about 6 months to see the finished product." No. You don't understand. It's gonna take a lot longer than 6 months. You don't understand what's going on here. She said, "Well, we don't like the exposed stuff we're seeing." I was like, "Okay." But we were trying to explain to her, we're putting on 3 inches of rigid foam insulation, and then the vinyl siding, and we can't just do this side where that plywood is mounted on the side of the house, because it's the gable end that has an electrical box on it. We had to remove the electrical box, put everything up. We had to put the units, the minisplits in upstairs, and run the piping down through it. And there was a lot of things involved. It wasn't just a simple matter of just slapping vinyl up. That could have been done really fast, but that wasn't the way we do things. We do things right. That's why we do it ourselves. She said, "Okay, well, how about a year?" I said, "Well, okay, we'll try for a year." And then we left it at that. Well, that coming February, our year was not up. and we get a letter from our insurance company saying, we're discontinuing your policy. We're not going to renew it in February, which it was going to be renewed about a week from then when we got the letter. Like, huh? What? Our year isn't even up yet, and you're going to just drop us for that? And, oh, I was so upset. I was worried. I mean, we had been keeping our agent involved and keeping him informed, sending him pictures. He'd been out to see our project and stuff a couple of times. And so he knew what was going on. And he had also actually retired the December before, and a new agent had come on board. And we hadn't really met this new agent yet. Well, we received the letter on a Friday, and I could hardly sleep that weekend. I was in turmoil. It really bothered me. And finally, I decided Sunday night, I can't deal with this. I don't have the time to do it. I don't have the energy to deal with it. Okay, universe, it's all yours. God, I hand it off to you. You do with it what you want. If you want us to get a different insurance company, that's fine. We'll do that. But we've been with this company for 40 years. We like them. They do a good job for us usually. And then I just released it. I totally felt at ease at that point. It's in the universe's hands. Whatever it's going to be, will be. And I went to sleep. No problem. Slept good that night. The next morning, my husband calls the insurance company. So I'm not doing it. My husband's doing it. But I have a feeling that they would have called us because he was saying, yeah, he just received that letter this morning. He was looking at it right then to see what was going on. And we told him, look, we've been with the company for 40 years. We got 3 vehicles insured with you. We got life insurance through you. We got the home insurance. We're about to build another house, So, doesn't that mean anything? All that's going to go. We're going to pull that to some other company if you don't renew our policy. So he said, well, let me see what I can do. So he calls his underwriters or whoever it is he calls. And an hour or two later, he calls back and says, okay, we're okay. You're okay. It's going to be renewed. Don't worry about it. It's going to be renewed. And it was renewed. And I stopped worrying about it the night before. And so that was a very interesting situation. It doesn't happen all the time. I know that I've talked about letting go in other videos. And that does seem to be a critical part. Just letting go. Knowing that the universe has your back. No matter what happens, it's going to turn out okay. And I have to keep reminding myself that over and over and over again. It's not ingrained in me. I don't think it's ingrained in very many of us to just let go. For some reason we are geared for worrying. We're geared for always planning something out. We got to have a plan A and plan B and plan C in place. And maybe we don't really need all that. Maybe we should just be here to experience the now, and just let go. And let whatever's going on the other side of the veil that's influencing our lives, let it work through us. That's one reason why I'm doing these videos, to help remind myself of such things, that I need to just relax and let the universe work. Because when I do that, things usually work out pretty good. Like this, there was no reason for me to be in a panic, no reason for me to be upset or worry. Just let the universe handle it. So remember that is one of your options out there, that you can hand things off to the universe. Hand it off to your angels, hand it off to your guides, hand it off to God, whoever it is that you think is out there on the other side of the veil. The spirit world does have an interest in what's going on in your life. And I think that's why you have guides on the other side. You usually have more than one guide out there. And they're interested in what's going on with you. They're kind of like your control room, mission control. And you're the astronaut out there in space, and you're relying on them to make sure things are working properly in your situation. Sometimes things go awry up there in that situation, but you're still working with them, making sure that they can do something on your situation from where they are. They have Apollo 13. Well, it was an unlucky number, wasn't it? Oh well. So if you like this video, please hit the like button and let me know. Have you ever let go of something and then it came to you? You know, I've got to practice that more. I really do in my own life. I'll let you know how it goes. So until next time, go out and manifest your life.